Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, August 10th, 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to this podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. I'm also on Facebook under business page Lisa M. Hopp, Spiritual Coach and Medium. I'm also on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp as well. And I posted one video. I'm also on TikTok. It's Lisa Hopp 555. Look me up. I tried to change it, but I couldn't. They just wouldn't accept any ID change. No, password easy. Name not so easy. But if you search for Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp, which is the nickname, hopefully it'll come right up for you because I will be posting more there. And for those of you on YouTube, if you connect with this podcast today, please like, subscribe, and share. I would appreciate it so much. If you're joining me on other templates, I guess, whether it be Apple, iHeartRadio, anywhere that you're at, thank you for listening. I appreciate it so much. Other platforms, there you go. It really is early Sunday morning. And I did have coffee, and I need more coffee. And for those of you coming back every week and with all the support that you give and encouragement and testimonials and ideas, thank you so very much. As always, if you have an idea for a podcast, or topic, please be sure to email me at serenityharbor@verizon.net. If you're on YouTube, you can comment at the bottom of the video. And so on to today's topic. There's actually two topics, but only one would fit in the header. It just wouldn't blend so well. And that is what to do with life's lemons. What's life's lemons? It's not when someone passes. That's a whole different thing. It is when you feel change is not good. When you wonder if you have good luck or bad luck or if you're cursed. It's those moments, but really it's about we don't like change. We don't like change because we often feel that we're not in control of it. And sometimes that change looks like it's going to be bad. Or in my case this week, I don't know how it's going to go. Change is in the works. But my instincts tell me, my knowledge tells me all change is good. My instincts tell me that I'm upgrading, but it hasn't flowed yet to a place where I can clearly see what that upgrade is. So it's almost like, I don't know if you've ever been to Disney World, and there is a ride, Space Mountain, and it's a roller coaster in the dark, which if you know me at all for a moment, I don't like it. I don't like going on this roller coaster in the dark, and every once in a while they'll give you a flash of light and you'll go, oh, I'm here, but really it's in the dark. And I'll do it if you ask me to, but I'll literally just keep my eyes closed the whole time in the dark. Well, that's sometimes how life can look, and that's what's going on with me right now, is that I'm going through a period of change, but for the most part I'm in the dark. But I know, as I said, I'll come out of it better on the other side. And it's a challenge because I am expanding. I'm expanding personally and professionally. And so what I'm asking you to do is, when it looks like life has brought you something sour, I want you to just go with it. If you want to use my example of, I'm in the dark on this ride, but I'm in the ride, I'm fastened down. At some point, it'll come back to the light again. That's the best thing to do. because everything is always responding to you. All energy is always responding to you. And if you've asked for something, which we do every day, by the way, we manifest every day, whether we mean to or not. You're right now listening to this podcast and you're creating tomorrow and the future. It's just natural. It's about energy. It's about vibration. So we're doing it whether we're deliberate creators or not. Now, I am into deliberate creation because we have the ability to do that, simply because we have that power. We're supposed to understand we have that power now. This is the times that we live in, that we understand about our ability to create quantum energy, our power to heal ourselves, our power that we have if we fully use it to create the life that we truly wish to create. But whether we're doing it deliberately or accidentally, or not deliberately, we're doing it. And so we can ask for something to happen, and then universe responds and gives us a way to have it, to change it, to bring it on. And we usually do not get to give information on how we want that to happen. We just don't. It's the unexpected, as Dr. Joe Dispenza would say. If it were known what was happening, you would be your old self creating it, not your new self with positive changes, a new positive life, a cure, new wealth, a new love relationship. It always comes unexpectedly, when you least expect it, and in circumstances that you never would have created. If you're involved with your head too much, you're creating from other elements. Doesn't mean you can't have success, but we have to watch not to have fear involved, old belief systems, things that can cause us to procrastinate or to say no when we're being asked to say yes, or to say yes when perhaps our intuition is telling us not to say yes. So it is good to go with the natural flow and to trust with faith and belief and a strong connection with that higher source, that we are being taken care of, and what we're asking for is what we'll eventually get. But sometimes we have to be built up. We have to be ready for it. And that means we have to earn qualities. We have to achieve them first. And that's where the lemons come in, because we have to overcome. We have to overcome the obstacles. We have to get over those hurdles, you see. And when I got news recently that I'm not ready to share, I will be sharing it shortly. When I got news recently, I immediately remembered, I had a brief little tiny moment where I asked for it. I went, maybe I should think about change here. And universe went, okay, that sounds like a yes, let's have that happen. And then we'll bring these people in and that person in, because it involves other wills. And I went, okay, go with this because you asked for it. And so did the others are asking for it. And so it's overall positive, more for others than me right now, but it's positive still. It caused me to make changes I had been procrastinating on. So I saw the universe at work. It's growing me. It's building me. And then in a little while I'll talk about the second thing that's happened that's also built me, but also responded to what I wanted. Growth, and growth. Growth is always good, by the way, but it can be painful. It can be painful because it means you can lose relationships. But what is lost is always replaced, and often for the better. And that's what the universe is trying to do, all right? And so when things happen, faith is required. And we are also at a time where those like me who are teachers and coaches for you, and for those who are drawn to us, they're more faith-based. They're more about God energy. They're not secular in any way in nature. I get my guides involved. I get my angels involved. I get ascended masters like Jesus or Blessed Mother Mary involved, and God's source, because that all exists. I have faith that I am loved unconditionally and always taken care of, even if when I get in my own way, because we all can get in our own way, right? I know you've probably done it at times. Maybe you're slow to just be kind to yourself, or to give yourself something that you really want. Know that we do that, especially we faith-based spiritual people. We tend to give to others first and ourselves last, when really the true teaching is that it is important to give it to ourselves first, so we have the full tank, so we can overflow it out to others. Heal thyself first, and then you have a full vessel to help others in their healing. If you drain your tank, by the way, no one else is going to really fill it. They may give you $5 of fuel, but they're not going to give you the full tank. That is completely up to you, and you can't resent them. And also know, only because this is another thing that came up to my attention this week, there's a false teaching that if you are one that wants to have financial freedom, that wants to believe that God energy is all love, because it is, by the way. I've been in that energy. It is immeasurable, unconditional, accepting love. That's all it does, is accepting. It created all of us and loves us all equally. Do we have different parts, roles, that maybe will get a larger entourage around us? Yes, at times. Some may have more angels than others, more guides than others, but it doesn't mean they're more important than you. It just means they have a cause, they have a larger role that they, before they came here, asked for. And so more help is required. That's all that's going on. It's not favoritism like our human ego can have. Okay? And so the false teaching I saw this week, where there were some priests, parishioners, and this is not speaking to a certain religion, because I'm sure it's out there across multi-religious. They were a bit conservative in their beliefs, to a degree that they really wanted it being, they want it to be of an older time, where priests do not preach about God is love, where there are rules and regulations, and you have to earn your way into heaven, and those teachings that I was taught, where there's a God to be feared. And it's not that we should, we have that energy, when I say let's just say this. When I've been a bit of when I've talked to heaven in a way where I have not been happy, I have always been loved through it. So that's very important to know. You don't get pushed out of heaven because you're upset. You can get yourself pushed out of heaven by not wanting to be there, but they still don't give up on you. It's really warmth. But these particular people we're not happy. We're not happy because there is a particular representative of theirs, not the Pope, the Cardinal, of great love and joy. I mean, great love and joy. And they did not like that they were inclusive when God is inclusive. But that's not their belief system. And our belief systems are taught. They are taught. And we have to make sure that they're truthful beliefs. Are they truthful beliefs, or are they just taught? Now, I don't debate. I did not approach with this. But whenever someone's telling you that you should fear, that you are not loved, that someone else is not loved, that is not truth. Okay? Even if someone is not particularly lovable, they are still loved. And it's free. That's why we have free will. And that's what also we're taught often. That free will isn't free. You have the free will to make choices, but if you screw up, you might be in trouble. Energy takes care of that. A couple podcasts ago, I spoke about the natural laws, 12. A lot of them intertwine. But the law of cause and effect, for instance, what you put out, you get back. So it's natural. It's not a being. It was set up like on autopilot. It's not a being. Like there's not, St. Peter isn't there with a checkoff list going, and I know this, going, oh, Lisa, she didn't make the right choice there, so we're going to have to punish her. It's not like that. Or Lisa's not going to get to heaven because of the work she does. Oh, I got that checked. And it was all from what I was taught. I'm not good enough. That's blasphemous. Or as these priests were saying this week, this inclusive priest that was promoting love is a heretic. Big word. And here's the thing. It is important not to judge as they are judging. It is important not to have an ego as they have. It is all right to have a knowledge that when they go to heaven, they're going to get all knowledge. They're going to get all wisdom. And they're also going to be very grateful of the love they're met with. They're going to be very grateful of the loved ones that are there. Now, their little intuition tells them, and they know that they are, and they hope that their loved ones will be waiting for them. But they'll never tell you that, really, unless they're bringing you comfort during your funeral or something. But they're not going to preach that as doctrine, because that is not the doctrine of faith that they have. And so, but can they say when they're bringing comfort that is possible? Of course. And it has happened. But these particular priests, they want to have only certain music and certain wear and certain practices, and the females wear the doilies on their head and such. And it's good to, I love the rituals, by the way. As I said probably last week, I love royalty because of the tiaras and the pomp, and probably it's sub-life part of that because I do like it. But am I aware that we're all created equal, and the Queen and I, the Queen doesn't go into heaven any higher unless she is of a faith or an openness or unblocked higher than another. She doesn't automatically go higher because she's a queen. There's a belief system that a pope automatically goes up because he's pope. And there's been some interesting popes in history that have been very human. So it's not a shoe-in on the title, listeners. But it's also, again, nothing that, as we live our daily lives, these are not fears that we need to have. you see that what you put out, you get back. If you are not pleased with it, change what you're putting out. And then you'll see better come into you. But when we get the lemons, it's not always, a feeling of, okay, I'll just make it lemonade. Sometimes we need help with all the ingredients. We need the universe to send a little sugar our way. And it will. It wants to. But it can only respond to our nature. And that's all that's happening. It responds to our nature. There's always justice. Everybody on this earth has a reason for being here and is a teacher. And sometimes the ones you don't like, the ones that you don't like the most or like the least, are the greatest teachers of love, of patience, of that higher stuff, the kindness, the compassion that you want to have. Because you do want to have it, because it brings the best to all of us. And in coming weeks, I'm going to teach more about this earth and how 5-dimensional energy, which is heaven energy, is here. It's here. And what will be happening with that. But for today, this is really a podcast today about having that faith, even when the road ahead is not clear, even when you think that you're not loved. Have the faith you might be. Have the faith you just might be. And you will see the energy around you answer to that. Now the second topic today is birds of a feather. See, I couldn't really blend that. Birds of a feather, lemons. We are who we surround ourselves with. At least part of us. And sometimes we ask for upgrades in our lives. And that means that it will be shown to us who is really of our flock and who isn't. But some of us who are emotional, feelers, givers, it is hard for us to let go of flock because we're not like that by nature. And sometimes we get very hurt when flock lets go of us. We think, what did I do? Was this something I have to apologize for? But I want you to step back 2 steps, and I want you to look of how life works. And it can be a mystery too. It can be a mystery. And this week actually it was the second week, I had the great gift of getting together with a group of like-minded individuals of all ages. Excuse me. And I'd asked for it. And it is we're from different regions, so it has to be virtual. But I'd asked for it on Earth. And I got it. And it is so awesome. But I've also noticed in my personal life, physical life, that relationships have shifted. But for the better. For the better. And I say something that sometimes gets misinterpreted. And sometimes in the past it is triggered when it was triggered people that it wasn't even about. So that's just something they had to work on and heal. One time I posted on my personal Facebook page about how I want easy friendships and I don't want to settle for less than easy. And people can self-judge, right? But it was really a request of the universe. I want this. I want to be able to be who I am, say what I want, be comfortable, trust, know I'm accepted, right? Don't we all want that? Well, I got it. I've gotten it. I've gotten it physically on earth, and I've gotten it virtually. And I've not always known, but I've come to know I have it from higher energy, from that higher realm. So I've got 3 wins here, 3 realms of it. But yes, that means that people who were once in your life may not be there now, or have to be set free. And it's okay to set them free if you're not in alignment. And that can go to personal romantic relationships too. It can go to jobs. It can go to professional relationships. It's okay to set things free. It's okay to distance. But when I say that, I just said it again recently. There was with a group. And it was so easy. We returned to each other. And it was just so great and easy. I didn't mean it as a detriment to anyone else on this earth. I was just happy I got what I asked for. I didn't even have a person in mind when I said it. So we have to watch what triggers us. I didn't even explain myself, really. There's no need to. It was a happy moment. It was a happy statement. So it's great to have people around that like me. And I'm likable. Listeners, I'm lovable. Right? As you are likable and lovable too. But it's nice to have that feedback on it, and it doesn't make you egotistical, doesn't give you a big head, it's just gratitude. It's just gratitude. And what I've also seen, people returning that left, and they're different. And that's amazing. And I'm different. Hello, I am not the same as I was. I just changed the color of my car because I'm not that person who had the other car anymore. And so that's what we're here for again, is to grow, is to expand. What new you is out there? Who are you truly inside? What do you now like? Maybe you still like a certain food and now you don't. I've completely revamped my diet and I keep doing it because it's what I'm called to do and be. Who you authentically called to do and be. You got to do it. That's why you're here. If you don't, it feels uncomfortable. It feels icky. It makes you sad. It makes you depressed. And you don't deserve that. So, notice your tribe and make changes as necessary. And know that it really helps your higher self. And so it's for the planet too. It's not just for you personally. And we all have the right to do it. And again, it should not be, and it isn't a judgment on someone. That's why they call some marriages, when they break up, they call it irreconcilable differences. Because they still love each other, but they're not aligned. We just are distant now. We just aren't on the same page. That can happen everywhere. And it's okay. It's okay. So I had a week where I don't know where the progress of my lemonade is with certain areas, but I'm grateful for the new crowd I have around myself. And I have gratitude for the crowd that's been there. And I go with the flow in the present moment always. These are 2 keys to living your ideal life. 2 keys to having joy on earth. 2 keys to just making life smoother. See what you can do with that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that was helpful to you. Thank you, thank you. And again, if you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to be on there more with videos. I may even I don't know how to, I'm learning technology. It's a bit overwhelming right now for me with technology of digital marketing and all that kind of thing right now. But thinking maybe to do an audio and a video podcast. And maybe the same one. It's like you can watch it or you could just listen to it. And so stay tuned for that potentially, most likely. All right. But meanwhile, wherever you are, thank you. And I'll talk to you next time. Many blessings.